Hello, this is Sebastian from Social Anxiety Solutions, and today I'm going to be talking about the social confidence journey. And in particular, I'm going to be addressing what to do when you've fallen off the wagon, when you don't find yourself on the journey anymore, when you're not doing any of your inner work, when you're forgetting to tap, when you're too tired, when you don't want to do it all anymore, when you feel like throwing in the towel and giving up. That's what I'm going to talk about. So, I'm first going to give you a bit of perspective. Then we're going to do a little tap along. And then I'll give you two simple strategies. Okay? So, start with the perspective. So, falling off the wagon on the journey from social anxiety to social ease. That is a difficult journey. It's tough, it's challenging, and it's especially challenging in the beginning. It's hard to build up momentum. It's challenging to do that, and there are setbacks along the way. And sometimes these setbacks are really, really hard. I can remember getting triggered really, really bad to the point where I couldn't really speak anymore, and still being in that social situation and not being able to escape it because it was just socially inappropriate. It just simply wasn't possible to leave. But it was very clear that my state was very different than what it was before, because before I was able to be myself, was in the moment, present, joking around, having fun, and now I got triggered and I was just silent. And it was like one-word answers and kind of like frozen in place. Extremely uncomfortable, also because I kind of had to sit out the social situation. And I usually can actually excuse myself, but the circumstances didn't make it possible in this scenario. And it was really, really hard. And, after the social situation was over, I still didn't feel great, and that's a massive understatement. I still felt completely like shit, but a little bit less so because the torture was over. But now I was dealing with all of the aftermath of the feelings that I had experienced, and then I thought to myself, "Wow, I'm so happy that I've got these mindsets and that I understand what's going on, and that I'm actually doing this work, because I'm doing what I'm doing because I had to do that. I was so messed up. It was in my head, my mind and emotional state on a day-to-day basis was such an up and down mess that I rolled into this automatically." Sometimes I meet friends that are into business and they're like, "Wow, you really picked a good audience." I'm like, "No, I didn't pick it. This is just what I had to do." Anyway, so it can be really, really tough, okay? And therefore, having the right mindset and right understanding of what's going on is very important. So when you're having a setback, or when you fall off the wagon, when you're not doing the inner work, there are typically two things going on. Number one, you're having resistance to the outcome, or resistance to letting go of where you're at, or resistance to the journey. There's pain associated to the journey. There's some kind of resistance, subconscious resistance to change. And therefore, you're experiencing that you don't want to do it, you're tired, you're lazy, you're not feeling like it, etc. That's number one. Number two is that it now feels like it's too hard and it won't work anyway, and those kinds of thoughts and that kind of thinking shows up, and that causes you to kind of quote unquote fall on the wagon. But you're actually not falling off the wagon. You're still holding on. You still have that desire. You still want to get rid of the problem. So, and I'm in particular talking to James and Victoria. Hi James, hi Victoria, right now, who recently mentioned, they're in my Social Confidence Club, that they feel like they've fallen off the wagon and they're struggling, they're not doing any inner work. So what you want to do in that moment is, for one, tap along with the following tap along, and for two, do the strategies that I'll outline after the little tap along. But for now, we're gonna do the little tap along that's gonna address that resistance and the idea that it's so hard. Well, on the one hand, that is true that it is hard and it's challenging and it's tough, but on the other hand, it's temporary. And it doesn't stay like that the whole time. And it gets easier as you get along. And at the end, it's glorious. So it's worth it. This pain is worth your effort, okay? And not taking any action is not gonna make it any better. So there you go, on that high note. So tapping in the side of your hand, just repeat it for me out loud. Even though I feel I've fallen off the wagon, and I don't wanna do this inner work anymore, I'm so sick and tired of this problem. It's too hard, it's too tough, and I can't do it. It's too much for me. It is such a struggle. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to let go of the struggle for whatever reason. And I want to try to accept all of my feelings anyway. Good tapping on the beginning of the eyebrows. I've fallen off the wagon. Sorry guys, I'm not on a journey anymore. Oh guys, I'm not doing this stupid tapping anymore. I don't know, I'm done with it all. Chin, I don't want to do any more of it. Collarbone, I've had it. On the arm, won't work for me anyway. Liver point, I'm close to giving up. Wrist point, what's the use anyway? Top of the head, I refuse to take more action. Beginning of the eyebrows, I'm just going to do nothing. Side eyes, I'm just going to continue my life feeling anxious socially. Oh yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know. I am struggling. Chin, I recognize that I'm struggling. Collarbone, and I also recognize the fact, under the arms, that there are certain things I can do. Liver point, which will reduce the struggle. Wrist point, but there might be a possibility, top of that some part of me doesn't want to let go of this struggle. Beginning of the eyebrows, and I release all my emotional attachments to my resistance to letting go of this struggle right now. Side of the eyes. I don't want to do anything. My eyes, but I do want to feel better. I don't know, certain things help me feel better. Chin, I don't have to do it all at once. Yes, I do. On the arms, no, I don't. Liver point, I can take small, tiny steps. Wrist point, and commit to a process. Top of the head, because a lot of bits of little results are a lot of progress over time. Deep breath. Checking how you feel. You might want to repeat that if you feel like it. And then the last two tips I'm going to give you are, one, sometimes you're not going to feel like doing your tapping. Just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. And in order to just do it anyway, do the following. Commit to doing a bare minimum. And that bare minimum might just be 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day of focusing on my feelings and allowing my feelings to be there, noticing what happens, noticing my thoughts, noticing my feelings. Just 5 minutes. Take your phone, set a timer, press it for 5 minutes. That's your most important task to complete, and you're not going to go to sleep until you've done it. If you lie in your bed at night and you haven't done it, okay, great. You know that you don't give yourself permission to sleep until you've done that. So go to the toilet, take your phone with you, put the timer on, and for 5 minutes tap. Okay, that's a bare minimum. Another thing you could possibly do for a bare minimum is to, if you have the, one of the tap along series or one of the live webinars, tap for 15 minutes, and again set an alarm after 15 minutes. Goal accomplished, pat yourself on the back, good job, you're done for the day. All right, and that's of course aside from your daily tapping, which you've linked to your habits, the things that you're already doing. So make it super simple for yourself, commit to doing it, and know that it's normal to fall off the wagon. Just get back on the wagon, okay? Hope this is helpful. Sebastian from Social Anxiety Solutions, and I'll connect to you next week again. Bye for now.